I bought these because of this comment right here. So I made a video about the Edifier TWS1 PROs compared to the Sony 1000 XM4s. And I got a lot of comments of people recommending earbuds. I really like the Edifiers. They went through the washing machine. Because of that, I decided to go ahead and take one of those recommendations and try something else out. This video is going to be an unboxing, first impressions, and 2 weeks to a month later, I'll follow up in the same video and let you know what I really think of them. So let's open these things up. First thing I really notice is the case is a lot smaller. So smaller than the Edifiers anyways, and the Sony WXM4s. Opening them up. Alright, we are connected. Let's see how they fit in the ear. I'm comparing the Edifiers to these. Do they fit as snug as the Edifiers? I like how it blocks out the sound. And I'd say if it doesn't, it's pretty close. Kinda like this. Alright, let's try a different song real quick, and I apologize. I can't let you guys know what I'm listening to because of copyright laws and all that fun stuff. Alright, and one more song. Let's try something a little bit. Alright, so, whoa. I didn't expect that. So I guess that little rubber piece that goes around the edge actually comes off. So the volume seems a lot lower than the Edifiers. I had the volume all the way up, and it still wasn't as loud as, say, what I would really like. But the bass in these, it's really interesting because it's not as, I don't even know what word to use. I don't want to say full. It's rich. It's got a really good sound to the bass. It just doesn't feel immersive. But there's a lot of pros to these, and one of the biggest reasons why I bought them, they have 6 mics for noise cancellation for when you're making phone calls. The Edifiers, they are not very good when it comes to making phone calls. Now, you can hear just fine. I can hear her. She can hear me. But the problem is it feels like there is no noise cancellation whatsoever in the Edifiers. When you're on a phone call, they just get all the road noise, all the background noise, the air conditioner in the vehicle, you name it, they hear it. And with these, they're supposed to be better. And the sound was really good. The mids and the highs are a lot louder than the Edifiers. So these earfun, that cracks me up. I thought it was a joke. Like, it sounded like a knockoff, like a cheap knockoff. Earfun. It just sounded goofy. But these seem like they might actually be pretty nice. I had some assumptions going into this. Those assumptions were debunked. These, the bass is punchy, which is really good. It's not super loud, but it is punchy and crisp. The mids and the highs are crisp. They're good. I like it. I watched another YouTuber tell me that it almost has an electronic feel to it. And I noticed that. I don't know if I would have noticed if he didn't tell me first. I told my wife, she said it's almost like an unnatural crispness. I kind of compare it to musicians using auto-tune. If you're not looking for it, you might not even notice. The bass is good. The mids and the highs are good. And one of my favorite features about the earphones is there are 3 modes. You have noise canceling, normal, and ambient. Now, noise canceling, that is to block out everything around you and just hear the headphones. The normal is just, it's about the same, but a little bit less bass. And then the ambient, it uses the 6 microphones inside the earbuds to pick up everything around you and play it inside your ears. When you first turn it on, it's almost like static. It's not static, but you hear everything around you. You just picture what a fan sounds like inside a microphone. And as soon as you start listening to your music and you go about your day and you have the ambient on, it's almost as if that goes away. And actually, I really, really like it. I have an outside job. That is a feature I didn't know I needed. Now, when it comes to the seal, I think the rubber tip is not as good of quality as the TWS1 Pro. These kind of flop up a little bit. They're not as thick. And with that being said, you don't get a good enough seal So the noise canceling is absolutely amazing with the TWS1 Pros. Everything is gone. It doesn't matter how loud your environment is. You put these in and turn them on, you block everything out around you. And that is really good in some settings. But in others, whether you're on the job, you're with your kids, you're with your family, you don't want to be completely blocked off. These, it feels like I don't get as good enough of a seal in my ears, so I can't block everything out. My favorite feature, though, is the ambient. And I noticed when certain things happen, like closing a car door or clapping your hands, that it blocks out your music real fast and it picks up on that. So it fluctuates the ambient sound based off of the volume level of the ambient sound. When you're changing between the three modes, you have your ambient sound, and it just picks up everything around you. Your music is almost like background music. It's there, but it's not in your face. It's just there. And then you switch to normal, and all the, for lack of a better term, static goes away. Boom, it goes to normal mode. And then when you turn on noise canceling, I don't notice a massive difference, but it does kind of block out a little bit more of what's around you, and it bumps up the bass a little bit. So the more bass you want to put it on noise canceling mode. And it's really nice that it's just by touching and holding the left earbud that it switches between the three. So I can be out working, I can have it noise canceling, enjoying my music. Somebody comes up to talk to me, I hold it, switch right over to ambient sound, and I'm able to carry on a conversation while it's playing without missing a beat or having to take them out of my ears. The edifiers, as soon as I get in the vehicle, I want to take them out and put them up. I don't want to leave them in my ear because I'm driving and I got to be aware of my surroundings. The earphones, if I have the ambient on, I get in the vehicle, I can leave these in. So as I have a job where I drive from place to place and get in and out of my vehicle, I don't have to take these out of my ears. I can leave them in and listen to them all day, or until the battery dies, because battery life is not all that great. Battery life on these is about 6 hours with about 30 in the case. Battery life on the edifiers is about 12 hours, and I believe the package said 30 in the case, but I thought I saw where it was 40. But either way, 30, 40, it's all good. But these get 12 hours on a single charge, to where these get 6. The earphones are a smaller case and actually a lot more convenient for throwing in your pocket. Now, as far as getting them out of the case, it's a little bit more difficult to get the earphones out. They don't stick out as much. So the TWS1 Pros, I pull them out, put them back in, no problem. These ones, you kind of grab it with your fingertips to get it out. It's just not as easy. And when I put them in my ears, same thing with my ears. It's just not as easy to get them out and put them back in the case. You push them in your ear and then twist it a little bit to lock it in, and they don't stick out as much as the edifiers do. The edifiers, I put those in, they stick out a little bit more. These stick out a little bit less. The edifiers, still hands down, I could wear these all day, a 12-hour shift, it doesn't matter. It's almost as if they're not even in my ears. Super, super comfortable. And I've told you before, I have weird shaped ears and things push up against them and it hurts. The edifiers do not hurt at all. The earphones do a little bit. But I think just for the slight that they bother my ears, and it depends on how I put them in, maybe one bothers my ear while the other one doesn't. It's just kind of annoying. But I think I would take that trade-off for what I get from these. When it comes to controls, both of them have pros and cons. One thing I really like is the earphones. I can access voice assistant. So I have an Apple phone, so I get to access Siri. And I really like that. You can't do that with the edifiers. Also, with the earphones, it is a one touch to change the volume, which is really nice. I like that better than the edifiers, which you have to push and hold, because then I can't go one notch at a time. On the other hand, though, when I go to skip tracks, the edifiers, I can go forwards and back with the tracks just by a quick double tap. The earphone, I can only go forward, and it's a triple tap. And if it doesn't register all 3 taps, it doesn't work. It's kind of touch and go. With the edifiers, I really like how responsive they are to the touch controls. After 2 weeks of having the earphones, I bought the edifiers. I put them in my ears. I went on the job. I was going to do a long walk outside, so I put them in instantly. Like the mids and the highs, they aren't there. My theory of you crank the volume up to get the mids and the highs where you want them, so then The bass is all-encompassing. I cranked the volume all the way up. It wasn't even like they were too quiet. It was as if they were flat. And I'd never realized that before because these were my main earbuds. The Earfuns have a sharper, richer sound to them. And I also realized in order to get the volume up to where I was comfortable with it, it was so loud that it blocked out everything around me. To where the Earfuns, I can have the volume at a quieter level and still very much enjoy the mids, the highs, and the punchy bass. I really tried to like these again. I kept listening to them all day. I think I tried them again a second day, and I was like, nope, I'm done. And I went out and I bought another pair of Earfuns. I give you as fair of a comparison as I can. Both of them are really good. I just like these better. I heard it said before that the Earfuns are just more fun. Like always, work harder and smarter. Stay diligent.
Okay, I'm not going to go that way anymore. Perfect. Well, one is better. Because it makes a bigger hole.